Cotton, the crossover, quick release. Oh, baby, and the foul. Woo. Offensive rebound for Watson.
32 seconds. Shot clock differential about 14 seconds. 3-point lead.
Who run shit like me? Top 5 basically. I still play for keeps. Ain't no fantasy. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 19 of Divine Providence. A very special episode today. You are about to witness history. Today, you will hear us three select the first perfect bracket in NCAA March Madness history. Happy to be here with Mac, as always, and Dr. Sergeant Eduardo, who is recovering from his cruise. But we're here. PC season's over. We're excited for the tournament, especially being in Providence. Gentlemen, how are we feeling?
Fantastic. This is, like we talked about the other day, this is my Super Bowl. I'm Irish as shit. Selection Sunday just happened. I'm going to be filling out brackets for the next couple days. It's the best time of year. And more importantly, Eduardo survived his adventure the past week.
Barely.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
St. Patrick's Day, though.
True.
March is a time for, comebacks and upsets and Cinderella stories. Eduardo had a Cinderella story. He was down to his last dime at the blackjack table and came all the way back and brought it back up to what? I think you said like 500 or something like that?
I was down to my last 20. I was miserable. I was like, I'm just going to put it all on blackjack. Brought it up to 500. Ended up even.
Yeah, that's special. That's special. That's what March is all about.
Madness.
You know what they say? This is why we play.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you play. Exactly. It's not talked about enough, though, just going back to the whole, St. Patty's Day weekend, how over time, because of, conference tournaments, TV deals, NCAA tournaments, how these two weekends came together and matched up perfectly. And you have, if you go to the parade, you have Southie Parade, you have Newport Parade, right? You have Selection Sunday, you have the conference tournaments, all kind of lining up. Usually, the weather is kind of starting to not be freezing. So it's like 50, maybe 55. It really is like a culmination. And that's why March is so slept on. Whenever you ask someone their favorite month, they always give you, June, July, right? Your Octobers, big fall people around here. But March truly, from A to Z, in my opinion, is the best month because of that, weekend right in the middle that Mac, honestly, I think he lives for it at this point. I think that really is his Super Bowl.
It 100% my Super Bowl. How many weeks or weekends on the calendar can you point to and say, regardless of what's going on, nothing can bring me down. No one will have it better than me. That's me with this past week or so, rolling into this weekend. You got the first two rounds, Thursday to Sunday. It's amazing. There's nothing can bring me down. I'm pure bliss right now.
Yeah, it's tough to beat. Genuinely, is tough to beat. So, like I said before, today's goal, we're going to be going through the bracket. I mean, I know you've heard a lot of bracketologists, right? You've listened to experts. You've seen people on Twitter pick brackets. Hey, we don't know anyone any more than anyone else, right? We're just, three guys who like to watch college basketball. But we're going to take a crack at it, and we're going to come to a consensus game by game, and we can see if it lines up. So, I don't know. Do you want to kick us off, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, there's three of us. So, like we talked about before, but for the listeners, there's three of us. So, we're going to kind of workshop this together. Majority rules, if, two people pick an 8 seed and one person picks a 9 seed, the 8 seed obviously advances. But obviously, we know not everything's going to be chalk. You try to avoid the chalk brackets. So if one of us picks a big upset, we're going to flip a coin. to determine who advances to the next round. I don't know if we want to set like a specific number for like difference in seeds. So we know what dictates like a big upset where we would flip the coin, like four or five seed lines.
I say just the coin is the coin could be a very reliable picker in my opinion. So I say just trust the coin if it's a tie.
The only issue is there's gonna be three of us, so there won't be a tie. But if let's say you two pick a 5 and I'm thinking a 12, like we go to the coin
you're talking about like
to incentivize
okay.
the
do a
chaos
coin for every 8-9 and maybe 7-10.
Flip coins for that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll share my screen right now, and we will attempt to fill in the first perfect bracket in history.
I think it's going to happen.
I got a feeling, man. That's the thing. It's the chase. The chase always keeps you going.
Yeah.
So this first game, Auburn's going to play the winner of, I think it's Alcorn State and St. Francis. I'm sure no one has any qualms about moving Auburn on.
Correct. I don't see anything though.
You get.
I just have black. Maybe. Oh, maybe we got to remove the video.
I do as well.
There we go.
I got it.
Technical difficulties.
You had to remove the video.
All right. So yeah, no one has any qualms about moving Auburn on.
Proceed.
Shout out St. Francis though.
Fair. Good point.
Yeah.
Baby.
Big win against Central Connecticut though.
Big upset. Too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This game is going to be a good game. I really like this one. Louisville, Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm picking Creighton all day.
Wait, are we flipping these? Are we flipping the coin for these?
That's what I was going to say. I mean, if
I'm
if
also cool with Creighton.
I
think unless, if it's a sweep, then just make it just put it in there. So we all have Creighton.
Where's this game?
This is a big East.
Louisville is they basically have a home game. They're playing in Lexington, which is weird.
Yeah, that's true.
But I also think Louisville, like I guess within the program, I feel like they're talking a lot about, oh, we got robbed, we shouldn't be an 8 seed. Like I feel like that's almost a distraction. And I also think this being the first game of the tournament, like the round of 64, I guess, I think this is going to be an awesome game, like a great game to kick it off.
Yeah, agreed.
They had the ACC too. I don't think you're going to do well at all. Give me Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
I love UC San Diego. That's just me. And there's always like at least 2 12s that move on.
Yeah. So my only concern with this is I feel like UC San Diego is definitely the popular pick. And while I want to pick them because I do think it lines up perfectly, like Michigan's coming off running through the Big Ten, like it could be, worn down a little bit. Like they do play the very last conference tournament too. Or maybe they ride the hot streak. I'm not entirely sure. I just think I'm down to flip the coin, but personally, I think it's almost too popular of a 12 seed to pick. And that's what scares me.
Sometimes,
but I do think you
don't fall in love. Yeah,
I go with Michigan. I think they're too big. I think they win easily. So, but I'm down for the coin if you guys want to do that.
All right, let's flip the coin. So I got this.
First coin.
I got this handy dandy Tennessee Titans coin. So heads for Michigan, tails for UC San Diego. We're going to flip it right now. First coin flip of the perfect bracket is heads.
Okay.
I said Michigan, right?
Good question. I honestly don't remember.
I believe it was Michigan.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Texas A&M,
That'd be hilarious if it wasn't. That was the one pick for the perfect bracket.
Mhm. Yale, I think, is another one that's like a popular Cinderella team in the first round. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah. I also I do like Yale. I have them. I only filled out 2 brackets. I put Yale in one of them. So I'm fine with moving Yale over here. You know, you gotta remember there's gonna be a lot of upsets. Like there just is. What I know it's a pretty top heavy year in my opinion, but like there's gonna be a 13 that wins. There's gonna be a couple 12s. There's probably maybe even gonna be a 14. Um, just how it is, you know. So
Hmm.
I'm fine with Yale if you guys want to do Yale, but
Yeah, I like Yale. I haven't picked them too much, but guard play wins you games in March, and they have a guard who is just a certified bucket getter, like one of those like alpha dog type scorers. And I think down the stretch, if this is a close game, like that could be the difference.
I like
yeah.
Yale. Give me Dan Wolf revenge game.
I like it. All
Michigan.
right, so clean sweep for Yale. Ole Miss and the winner of San Diego State UNC. Um, I'm not very high on Ole Miss. I know UNC. There's a lot of talk about they shouldn't have gotten into the field, but it feels like a first 4 team at least wins one game every year, and this is the one where I would tend to pick it just because I'm low on the 6 seed. I don't know what you guys think.
um, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, see, like I like Ole Miss, and this going into this year, I like them a little more. You know, I think they might have tailed off, kind of, in my opinion, like Marquette for me a little bit. I just don't want any part of UNC if UNC ends up winning. I just don't think that they're really that good, and I don't think that they even should be there. Um,
Mm.
I don't really know anything about San Diego State. I like did not watch any. What were they? They're in the Mountain West still.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't watch any Mountain West. I didn't know if they changed back, but um, yeah, I know nothing about San Diego State, but I know I don't really like UNC. Um, so honestly, I would pick Ole Miss here, but
Okay. Eduardo, was it Syracuse a couple years ago that like barely snuck in as an 11th seed and kind of made a little mini run?
Yes. I think it was
yeah, they did that.
2018.
Were they first 4 or was it an automatic bid?
I think it was an automatic bid. I don't
Okay.
think it was first 4. But I just for
Um,
UNC, I got a weird feeling that everyone's counting them out, be like they don't deserve it, which they technically do not deserve it. West Virginia should have been, but I just got a weird feeling they're just gonna like go on a run here.
yeah, I agree. I just, like Leb, you mentioned the Mountain West. Last year was living proof where they get 5 or 6 teams in. The Mountain West
Yeah.
in March is just a little shaky for me. Um, so I'm a little torn, but I am down to flip the coin if you guys want.
Fuck it, flip it.
Wait, do we pick the first 4 game? Like, or are we doing this
Um,
11?
You don't
just
you don't have to. It wouldn't count toward the perfect bracket or the score.
Okay,
right, so we'll flip it.
we can flip the coin.
All right. I'm gonna remember this time. Heads is always the lower number seed. So heads will be Ole Miss. Tails will be the first 4 winner. And it's heads. So we're gonna move Ole Miss on.
Let's go.
So we got Iowa State and Lipscomb. Family friend of mine goes to Lipscomb, so I'm a little biased. And I'm not the biggest fan of Iowa State, but I think Iowa State's just too good. So I'm gonna stick with my
I
gut
think
and
they're
say I feel like early on they're upset proof.
yeah, they definitely are. I mean, I just don't see them losing to Lipscomb. But like I said, there's going to be a 14 seed that wins, so they're as good as probably any of them. So, but I would say with this one, I'm going Iowa State.
What are you thinking, Eduardo?
I agree. Iowa State.
All right, we'll move on. Okay. Marquette in New Mexico. I want to hear both of you guys, like your takes first, because I have
Yeah.
a weird theory about this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to talk, but you said you want to hear what we have to say first. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this could be this. I think this is going to be a phenomenal basketball game. Two great coaches, great coaching matchup. You have, player of the year potential. One of the best scorers in college basketball, Cam Jones. I do think Marquette probably will be too much, and I think that Marquette started to kind of fizzle out. I don't know if that was maybe just a product of maybe them kind of looking toward the tournament. They're very old. They're experienced. I like Marquette 100%, but New Mexico's a good team. This is just two teams I did not want to see play each other in the first round for the sole purpose that I want both of these teams to, advance pretty far.
Eduardo, where are you at?
I think it's going to come down to Marquette's big man play. Whatever Ben Gold plays, if he plays well, they're going to win easily. If he's not, it might be a long one for him. So, but I'm going to stick with Marquette. Got to root for Big East.
We all know who New Mexico's head coach is, right?
Right. Of course.
Richard Pitino. I'm the only reason I'm concerned about Marquette because I do think they will have the best basketball player in this matchup in Cam Jones.
Yeah. You can argue Dent's the best player on the floor. So
fair. That is fair. I'm just concerned. You got the Pitino blood right there. Marquette went 0-3 against St. John's this year. I don't know if Rick's got something up his sleeve for Richard as far as a game plan. That's the only thing that holds me back. But in the name of Big East solidarity, I'll ride with Marquette.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going Marquette. I think that is true. I mean, I don't know if the Johnnies beat Marquette because they had something, special other than just the fact that they're just a good team, But yeah. All right. So moving on, Michigan State versus Bryant University, my hometown Bryant Bulldogs. No, I'm not a Bryant Bulldog fan. I did grow up 2 minutes from the campus, but I'm not a Bryant Bulldog fan. Do I want to see him win? Yeah, sure. Cool. Great. I got people texting me being like, you must be so happy about Bryant. Nope, not happy. Don't care. Indifferent. They could exist to me. They could not exist to me. I would not lose an ounce of sleep. If they went back to D2 tomorrow, I would not care one bit. I hope they win because I love to see an upset. And yeah, sure. Rhode Island team, Smithfield team, great. Not a Bryant fan. Stop asking.
I will probably be rooting for Bryant hard. And Lev, there's a 1% chance. There's a small chance that it happens.
Yeah, no. They're the best 15 seed in my opinion. I mean, they're a good team and they're well coached. Phil Martelli Jr., great coach. Dude, fucking Timberlake, he's a great player. And they got Keyshawn Mitchell, really good freshman big man. They're a good team. I like Bryant. I hope they win, but yeah, I wish I've tried in years past. I mean, they've been in the conference championship before. I went to a conference title game at Bryant, actually against Wagner. Dan Hurley was coaching, and it was a great time. Loved it, but it's just I just don't care. I'm a one team guy, and that's how it is.
Yeah, I think Michigan State's the better team, but
Correct.
that little 0.1% chance that it can happen is just I'm gonna fill out a bracket. I'm a sicko that's gonna fill out 20 brackets. I'm gonna have a bracket where Bryant beats Michigan State in the first round. I can promise that. The only time I've ever picked Tom Izzo to win the national championship, they were a 2 seed, and they fell to Middle Tennessee, a 15 seed.
Yeah, that I do remember that. Yeah.
So it's not impossible. That being said,
Yeah.
I think Michigan State's going to win. They just have studs up and down. Jason Richardson's son is a stud.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to go with the Spartans.
Yep.
I'll make this nice and easy. Bryant's gonna get absolutely ran off the floor.
Wouldn't be surprised at that. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I mean, I'm not. There's not going to be a 15 seed that beats a 2 seed, or there probably won't be. But there's going to be one game that's close. There's always one game that's close.
Mhm.
Even a 16-1. We've seen that somewhat recently, a couple times. So this could be the one that's close. And all you need to do is hang around, right? You hang around long enough, you try to steal at the end. That's what NC State did in 1983, and they won. So, yeah. No,
I will say
Michigan
though,
State,
I'll be very happy for Bryant. Not anti-Bryant, but they're gonna get killed.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Bryant either. I don't want to come across as anti-Bryant. I just want to let it be known that, being from Smithfield, I would think that a lot of people are expecting me to be, more of engaged in this Bryant thing. I'm just personally, I'm not. But it is what it is.
That 1% chance, though. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, hey, I hope it happens. I hope it happens.
I'm going to be locked in. What is that? That's a 10 o'clock game on a Friday night. I'm going to be locked in for that.
That might be a game.
I'll be
like $10 by Bryant.
Yeah, it's a 17-point spread right now, which honestly is lower than I thought it'd be. But there's probably some juice on the money line. Plus 1,100.
All right, we got.
So going forward,
move on here.
Do we want to go the whole first round or region by region?
Let's do the whole first round.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just stay on the left side of the bracket. Are we all good with Florida? Moving on.
Yep. Next.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. This game's so interesting to me. What do you guys?
I know.
Lev, I'm going to give you the floor because this is your team.
Let's go Huskies, baby. No, I really don't think UConn's that good, and I really think that Oklahoma is. I don't know. I mean, Oklahoma's not that great, but they're good, and I mean, Fears is really good. UConn has some good players. I just think that this is just not the year for UConn. Obviously it's not. They're not going to win a national championship or anything, but their performance in the MTE, neutral court looked terrible. I just think that this is the year that maybe UConn gets knocked out first round. But I feel like this is going to come to a coin flip anyways. So I don't really think it's kind of, all that meaningful.
I think it's so – these teams are so every sign should point to them being successful. Like Oklahoma went undefeated in the non-conference. Then they just laid an absolute egg, had a terrible SEC record. UConn, 2-time defending champ. You retain some pieces from that team, and they're, middle of the pack in the Big East for most of the season. It's just two teams that feel like you should know how good they are, but in reality, just when you zoom out, it's just there's a wide range of outcomes. I think either team could pump them by 20.
Yeah, the committee does a really good job with these 8-9 games, though, and these 8-9 games are some of the best college basketball games of the year, and they produce some of the greatest college basketball games literally of all time. It's just so much going on that sometimes these really good games kind of get swept under the rug. But yeah, I mean, my vote would be on Oklahoma. this year. As much as I'd love to root for the Big East, I just don't think UConn really has it this year, and that's okay. You guys won back-to-back national championships, and guess what? Next year, you have a unbelievably good recruiting class coming in, and probably will get some really good transfers, and they'll probably be right back in the top 10 next year. But it's just not the year for UConn.
Eduardo, where are you at?
I actually like UConn this one. I think they match up well with them, guarding fears and more. So I'll go UConn. Shout out Mark D'Amelio.
That's your boy.
I've been picking a lot of UConn. I was okay with, I guess, settling and, just saying Oklahoma if both you guys wanted Oklahoma. But I'm down to go to the coin.
Let's do the coin. I think it's
coin it.
Heads for UConn, tails for Oklahoma. The flip is tails for Oklahoma.
Boomer Sooner, baby.
So we'll move Oklahoma on. The fighting Jeremiah Fears to the round of 32.
Yep.
This Memphis-Colorado State game is interesting to me because Colorado State, if they didn't win the Mountain West, they weren't getting in. But they're on a little bit of a hot streak. I forget how long their winning streak is, but they're hot right now. And I think Tyrese Hunter just got hurt for Memphis. And so Colorado State is technically favored in the books. So I've been picking a lot of Colorado State.
This is the most glaring 12/5 one, but that means obviously it's not going to happen. So, I picked Colorado State, I think, in both of my brackets here. I still think Memphis can win despite the injury, but I would say, Colorado State for this one.
Honestly, I don't think I've watched a single Colorado State game this year, but I think Memphis is so overrated, so I'll go Colorado State as well.
All right, let's let it ride.
Yeah.
12/5. In the limited Big Ten basketball I've watched this year, I think Maryland might be legit. Like, Maryland might be back.
I like Maryland a lot. So, Grand Canyon, a lot of hype, a lot of fun atmospheric games. Women's coach is hot, but that's about all they got. So, give me Maryland.
For the longest time, I would see that picture on my timeline, and I always thought it was just Livy Dunn in a suit. Until I actually,
yeah, they do look alike. Yeah,
they look very similar. That being said, looking like Livy Dunn and being attractive kind of go hand in hand. Unfortunately,
correct.
I'm going Maryland. Is anyone in?
I'm fading you guys. I absolutely love Grand Canyon this year. I did it last year. Their experience. They have a lot of guys back from their last year's Sweet 16. They almost beat Alabama last year. They should have. Ty and Grant Foster. Remember the name. I'm telling you right now. Remember the name. I have them in my Elite Eight.
This is the shit we love,
right.
Eduardo. This is the in-depth mid-major analysis. This is where perfect brackets are built. So we got to go back to the coin.
Flip it. Flip the coin.
Heads for Maryland. Tails for Grand Canyon. Flip it. Fuck. Hold on. Hand up. That's on me. Flip it again.
Yeah.
We got our first 12-13 matchup of the bracket.
Wow, Grand Canyon. All right. Hey, I'm trusting the process because that's gonna be a hell of a game.
I love Grand Canyon. I wrote them last year. They made the Sweet 16. Had the exact same thing. I'm riding with them again. Got to.
I like Drake here. 30-3. Give me Drake, man.
Yeah, it's hard to fade a 30-win team. Do you guys think the SEC flops? Do you think there's any chance the SEC, as a majority, just flops after getting all these bids?
There's just no every time this has happened with a conference, it's always been pretty either 500 in the first round or below. The Big East had, I think the Big East had 10 in one time. And a lot of teams lost in the first round. You get conditioned to think that you're better than everyone because you play in a certain conference, but that's not the case. Like it's, I don't know. It really is something that I think is overstated this time of year, like the conference of where you come from, style of play, things like that. I mean, the only conference, honestly, you can really say that the basketball is a little bit different is the Big East. Like, Big East is different. It's more physical, but it's becoming less. Like, everyone's kind of becoming the same. So I still like Drake, though. They're an awesome team, well coached. Yeah, I'll take Drake. 30-3.
Yeah, I think Sturts is awesome. It's hard to fade a 30-win team, and like it's like the same logo you're looking at in your bracket, but this is like totally different Drake team from the Drake teams that people have picked as upsets in the past few years. Like new coach, half the roster is new, and they still end up winning 30 games. I don't know if it's a culture thing or what, but it's hard for me to fade a 30-win team.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Well said.
I'm looking at this, and it's like a major, like, popular upset pick. So I went with Missouri, but I'm down.
Okay.
I'm down to go Drake.
No,
We're going Drake?
Go to the coin. Eduardo's going to make us coin it a lot if you want. I mean, unless you're confident about Drake.
I'm good to go with Drake, but I just went with Missouri.
I think there's going to be at least 2 11 teams.
I think this is going to be the chaos region. Like, just looking at it, there's a lot of stuff that can ensue in this region. So I'm cool with having 11, 12, 13 in the second round.
Okay.
I feel like UNC Wilmington, I don't know if there's any data to back it up. Feels like it's like a popular 14 seed to pick to win. I wasn't really impressed. Like, I was watching the CAA tournament. There's nothing that's like flashy about them or fun about. Like, I feel like it's literally just a logo. It's a cool looking logo. They're in the tournament pretty frequently.
So here's my strategy with this game. This is like when you're in a bracket pool with like points, and points might be important for like a tiebreaker situation, or like if it comes down to the end. I like Drake to move to the Sweet 16, right? So if I'm picking Drake in the Sweet 16 and I have Texas Tech versus UNC Wilmington, I'm going to pick UNC Wilmington because I'm going to try and steal a couple points that maybe no one else would pick because I got Drake moving on to the next one anyways. So, it's kind of like not many people are going to pick it. You might get some points that some people might not get. Worst case scenario is whatever. You only lose out on like one or however your scoring works, 1 or 2. So that's why I picked UNC Wilmington here in both my brackets because I like Drake. But like we're not really. There's no points here. We're just trying to pick the perfect bracket. Actually, we are submitting this to the Twitter, right?
Yeah, actually, we should probably plug that real quick. We have a bracket group on Twitter. Elon put together basically just combined ESPN and Twitter for the month. We have a bracket group. We'll repost it again when this episode comes out. Everyone join.
Mm-hmm.
College Basketball Junkies.
Yeah,
he's doing it for shits and giggles. I don't know if you guys saw, but Elon said whoever picks a perfect bracket wins a trip to Mars.
Yes,
so
trip to Mars. Perfect.
When this bracket's perfect, who wants to be the one to go to Mars?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for Mars, for sure.
I was on Mars Saturday, so I'm good.
That was the gummies talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Mars in like an hour and a half. But yeah, so like I'm fine with either with this, but like I said, I was just kind of explaining my strategy, like for these games. If I really like an upset or a Cinderella, maybe go to the Sweet 16. I'm going to just try to steal some points. But
Okay.
Texas Tech is a good team. And UNC Wilmington, I know nothing about UNC Wilmington. Not to say like shouldn't pick them because I don't know anything about them. Obviously, not many people are watching UNC Wilmington games throughout the year. And if you are, like, wow, that's incredible. You know, get a job. But you know, that's just kind of where I'm at. So whatever you guys think, honestly, is fine.
Eduardo, I don't know how you're feeling. I'm definitely pro Texas Tech in this matchup, but I'm also okay with going to the coin.
Honestly, I haven't watched either, but looking at the matchup, Toppin's easily the best player on the floor, so I'll go with Texas Tech.
Fair. All right. Lev, we got to honor the rules because you're picking UNC Wilmington. So we will go to the coin.
Go to the coin.
Heads for Tech. Tails for Wilmington. Texas Tech on to the round of 32. I'm also cool with, when we get to it, moving Drake along. Kansas, Arkansas. I'm going to be quick. I just don't think John Calipari gives a shit about March Madness. He gives a shit about getting guys in the NBA. And he has a lot of players who it feels like they play hero ball pretty frequently.
This is the one where I feel like Calipari has something to prove here. You know, this is a really good way for him. He's looking at this saying, I can beat Bill Self, then Rick Pitino. And his image took a little bit of a hit. You know, this was a great way for him to get back into the eyes of being the, you know, elite basketball coach that he can be. I think you're right. Like his approach isn't necessarily geared for March Madness, but I don't hate Arkansas here. I just don't think Kansas is like that great, you know? Like I think they're okay. But maybe it's because it's Kansas and I'm used to them being so good. But
this is the first year I think since like 2001. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's like almost 25 years since Kansas hasn't been a top 4 seed in March, which is just like an insane run. That's not to say the past predicts the future in this scenario, but just a weird stat. And I'm also just pro Jayhawk. This game's going to be in our backyard. I'm going to be rooting for Kansas. So I'm going to pick Kansas.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go Kansas as well. I think you convinced me.
I don't like either of these teams, so I'll go with Kansas with you guys.
Cool.
I kind of agree.
I was pro Big East at the start of the bracket. I'm not saying trash cans are going to get beat up in this first round matchup. I'm saying I think the winner of the 7-10 game, there's a chance St. John's could be an early exit, especially because they don't shoot well. So they concern me, I think, going far in the tournament.
I like Omaha. They're fun, and the trash can thing is fun, you know. And you know, Alex Bregman came to New England. Maybe after banging some trash cans, maybe Omaha can come to New England and get a W as well. So, you know, we'll see. Nah, you just can't go against St. John's this early. I personally can't. But, yeah, that'd be sick. I would see that. This is the one where it's like, I do want to see the Big East win, and I love Rick Pitino. But man, this would be fucking awesome. I would love if this happened.
Mm-hmm. St. John's is just a weird team for me. Like obviously having watched them all year, like we follow the Big East more than any other conference. St. John's is just a hard team to get a read on because, like, if you look at teams in the past that make runs, like they're usually not bad shooting teams, and the bad shooting teams that make it far just happen to be the ones coached by Rick Pitino, and they also have 3, 4, 5 guys that can get you a bucket when you need it. So like they fit the mold of a team that makes a run, but their inability to shoot just I feel like when you face a good coach like a Self or a Calipari or Todd Golden later in the bracket, like it's going to be easy to game plan for. I feel like.
The way I look
I
at
agree.
it is if they hit shots, they're not losing. Like they defend so well, they rebound so well. If they hit shots, they're not losing a single game. They're going to win it all. But there's going to be one game where they don't shoot well and they might lose. So
And that is what we're here for.
I don't.
We're here to predict when that happens.
All right, so we're going St. John's, right?
Yep, we'll move them on.
also,
And,
Patino's not losing in Providence. He's going to be at the Foxy the night before. He's going to get ready.
Yeah, I feel like
He's going to run the table in Providence, Rhode Island.
We need to talk about that pod because the coaches in that pod, the storylines, and it's all going on 20 minutes down the road. Like I think that's awesome. Like we're going to be there firsthand experiencing it. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, 20 minutes for you, 10 minutes for me. It's
Fair.
It's special, man. It's unbelievable. It's really just like something awesome. I mean, Providence is an historic college basketball city. PC isn't the greatest college basketball program, but we do have a lot of history, a lot of rich history. PC, Dave Gavitt invented the Big East. Rick Pitino, brought Providence to a Final Four. Bill Self, John Calipari, Rick Pitino, Alan Breed coming back to Providence, which we'll get to in a little bit. Very special. Very, very special. Going to be a lot of fun.
Can't forget the most electric manager in the game, Amir Khan.
Yep.
So moving on to the East region, though, obviously we're good with Duke, right?
Yep.
So this is the only 8-9 matchup I'm just not really excited for. It's the first game Friday. It just doesn't feel like it has any juice for me. I feel like it's like two teams that are like consistently in the mix in their respective conferences, but just not really exciting to me. So the only thing that I keep going back to is a Jeremy Roach revenge game in the second round. So I'm inclined to pick Baylor every time I fill out one of these brackets.
I say flip it for that one.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on this one, honestly. Like I don't even remember who I picked. That's how little of an opinion I have on this one.
Heads for Mississippi State, tails for Baylor. Mississippi State on to the round of 32.
Okay.
Oregon Liberty, I don't think
Give me Liberty.
I was going to say I don't think there's a chance that this is the 5-12 upset, but
I knew you were, but I love Liberty, man. Give me Liberty.
I'm cool with going to the coin. Eduardo, what are your thoughts on this game?
I like Oregon, even though Liberty's a great college.
I trust Dana Altman a lot more than I have in the past. I just feel like Oregon's always in the mix, like in that Sweet 16 range.
Yeah, you're right.
Just all reliable if they get in. But we'll go to the coin.
I love that. Dude, I love Liberty, man. Give me that 12-5 all day.
Heads for Oregon. Tails for Liberty. Coin is up. And the Liberty Flames.
Liberty, baby. Liberty.
Liberty.
Let's go.
So I hope you guys aren't Arizona fans because I'm going with the 13-4. 13/4 right here.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I actually think Arizona's really good, but I'm fine, dude. I'm fine with the coin on this one. 13-4. I don't think do we have any 13s yet, or maybe just one so far?
Yes. What was it? Grand Canyon? Were they 13?
It's Grand Canyon, baby.
Yeah, I just think Caleb Love can lose a game for Arizona single-handedly. And I just time after time have not been given any reason to trust Arizona as a program in this tournament. I do agree they're good, and First year in the Big 12. I don't know. I think Akron is a fun team, and they can pull off the upset.
I like the Zips. I watched them play in Atlantis at 11 a.m. against Bowling Green. They looked impressive. Give me the Zips.
Hell yeah. All right, so we'll go to the coin here because we're a little split. Heads for Arizona, tails for Akron.
I'm fine with Akron, but whatever.
Oh, you're cool with Akron? All right, cool. Clean sweep. We got another 12-13. This is are we gonna have more 12 seeds in the we're gonna have two 12-13 matchups. I like it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, listen, that's March. This is March. It's it happens, All right, BYU, VCU. This is one where I want to pick VCU, but BYU is big, man. They're big, and Demon's big. Yeah, I picked BYU in this one.
I'm cool with going with BYU. I do think VCU is a really good team, but Igor Demon, he could end up being one of those like March Madness focal points. I don't know. I think he's a stud. Another team who's held their own recently joining the Big 12. I'll take BYU, unless Eduardo wants to go to the corner.
I like BYU too. I think they're trending in the right direction right now, but VCU will give them a game.
I'm also super high on Wisconsin. I don't know about you guys.
Wisconsin's awesome. Love them.
I think they steamroll whoever the hell they're playing.
Mm-hmm. And
the Grizzlies.
I'm getting a little frightened because they're in that same quadrant as my Tide. So a little nerve-wracking. This game is also another game I'm just not getting up for. It's on paper just looks boring. St. Mary's just like slow-paced team. Vanderbilt almost feels like one of those. They're a good team, so I don't want to say like make-a-wish SEC teams, but this game just doesn't feel like it has much juice.
Yeah, I'm fine with the coin for this one.
I once fell asleep watching a St. Mary's game, so I took Vandy, but I'm good with the coin.
Coin.
Heads for St. Mary's. Tails for Vanderbilt. Vandy on to the second round. Does anyone have any qualms about moving on your 2025 national champions to the second round?
Yeah, I do now.
Son of a bitch.
Give me the coin.
Give us the coin for Bama?
Nah. Give me Bama.
Okay.
We gotta have for a 15-2, we gotta have two people that want the coin. We can't just be one asshole being like, give me the coin.
I've been trying to talk myself into an avenue where Alabama gets past Duke to go to the Final Four. But I think they got a tough draw.
Houston, obviously.
Good with Houston, too.
All right. No ifs, ands, or butt fucks. Give me the Zags.
Okay.
Good with that.
Yeah. They're a good. They are a really good team. Honestly, don't really know much about Georgia. Probably should know more about Georgia, but I do like Gonzaga, so give me the Zags.
They're one of the only teams that beat St. John's this year, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. The Fighting Will Wades.
The Fighting Allen Breeds.
Yeah, this is a popular 12-5 that I did not have. I have Clemson.
Okay. I keep going back to this one as like my go-to 12-5. But Clemson is a good team. Like, they're kind of becoming that. It feels like they're taking over that Virginia role as that next team in the ACC behind, like, no offense, Eduardo, but like behind Duke and UNC. Like, it feels like they've kind of climbed into that third spot as far as like quality programs in the ACC. But we should also defer to our ACC expert, Mr. Eduardo.
Well, first off, I'm rocking with McNeese steak just because of breed and my fellow orange Quadir Copeland. But
Okay,
I'm fan of the ACC, so I'll take McNeese steak.
cool. So do we want to go to the coin?
I'm also pretty sure
Um,
Clemson lost their starting point guard. So
I'm okay with moving Will Wade on. I did pick Clemson in this one, but if you know, I'm this was like 50-50 for me. So if you guys are, in on McNeese, then I'll ride that Allen Breed train.
I believe that's our third 12 seed. So this is madness. This is madness, folks. This is what
Yep.
we live for. Purdue High Point.
Yeah, this one. I mean, Purdue is just not reliable in the tournament. Obviously, no, they played in the national championship last year, but they also had Zach Edey, so they don't have Zach Edey. Purdue is always good for a very early exit. Yeah, but I still would take them here, personally.
Yeah, I love this Purdue team. I think Braden Smith is like one of the best point guards in the country. Fletcher Lloyd feels like old reliable. What's it? I don't even know how to pronounce the guy's last name. Kaufman Ren. Yeah, another good go-to guy. And like really like contrary to popular belief, like outside of Zach Edey, it's pretty much a lot of the same team from last year. So that's a team with experience. I feel like Matt Painter got that monkey off his shoulders. So I do trust Purdue a little more this time around.
All right,
I like
we all good on Purdue?
This game's going to be really close. High Point's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are good. I've heard they're really good. So
we'll go Purdue and then Illinois in the play-in. Little Big East supremacy moment here, possibly.
yeah, give me Xavier. Xavier.
Eduardo?
Fuck it.
Xavier. I'm cool with Big East supremacy. Let's do it.
Yeah, fuck it. Although
Troy.
this is like Illinois versus Xavier, there's a lot of like fuck Ed Cooley
Ooh.
in that game,
Yeah, with the whole Brad
Nobody
Underwood
likes Ed
stuff.
Cooley in that. Yep.
I like that. A little possible story. So this is what we do. This is journalism here, folks. We're making storylines as we go through these games.
Yep, making storyline. What you got to do? Making storyline. Exactly. Well said. All right, Kentucky. I like Kentucky a lot.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, Cal doesn't give a shit about the tournament. So I feel like him not being there just kind of nullifies any thought in my mind about like, oh, this is the team that just they're flashy. They don't give a shit about the tournament. It's a lot of one and done guys. Mark Pope, I feel like, is kind of completely giving me a 180 in my perception of this program. And
Yeah,
I think they're legit. Like I posted a bracket today. I have them in my Final Four. So I like Kentucky.
All right, you guys do these last two games without me. I got to piss.
All right.
I like Kentucky too, but I have not watched Troy, so. But I'm really
it's just another one of those teams that doesn't feel like a flashy pick or a fun pick at all. But then again, that was how I felt with Oakland last year.
See, that's what's scary about it because it's not flashy, but they might make.
All right, so it's just me and you here. So we're gonna go. If we're split, we'll flip the coin. If not, we'll go with it. UCLA, Utah State.
I like UCLA in this one. I say we fade the Mountain West.
Yeah, I'm all for that. And then I'm sure you don't have any qualms with Tennessee over Wofford.
Yep, go with Tennessee. Shout out Rick Barnes.
Shout out Rick Barnes. He does scare me in the tournament though, like as far as making a deep run.
Yeah, but you shouldn't lose to 15. I hope.
Auburn Creighton. I think on this side of the bracket, like I'm pulling for Creighton hard, and then obviously on the other side, I'm rooting for Bama. So I'm like inclined to pick Creighton over Auburn here, but I just know that's not the right pick.
Auburn. I have Auburn winning it all. So, but I think Auburn matches up really well. Like, it's going to be interesting to see Broom versus Kalkbrenner. I think that's going to be fun to watch. That's going to be a great.
See, we're just making storylines as we go. I love it. That's like a clash of the
I
Titans.
think Auburn's just too good. The Creighton 1-2 punch is not going to be enough to beat Auburn.
Yeah, I agree. I think Auburn just has too many dudes, unfortunately.
They need Neal or just someone to go help Kalkbrenner and Ashworth there because they're going to put up points. It's just a matter of if they're going to get help or not.
Yeah. Leb, Auburn, Creighton, where you at?
Man, I hated picking this game because I really, really want to see Creighton like go far, and I really think they have the team to do it. But Auburn's just fucking good, man.
Mm-hmm.
But like Kalkbrenner isn't that? I don't know. I don't want to look like a dickhead. I'm not like obsessed with Broom. I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Eduardo made a good point. I think this is going to be awesome because you have two possible first-team All-Americans in this game.
Yeah.
So I think even if they neutralize each other and they just kind of cancel each other out, Auburn's just so deep. Like, I feel like you got to go with them.
I know, but this Ashworth Kalkbrenner thing is dangerous, and you let two white boys get hot in March, man. Sometimes they never look back. These white boys, you know,
cold ass white boys.
Cold ass white boys in March, man.
So is this a scenario where you want to go to the coin or?
You know, I don't have Auburn in my national championship game. I don't know about you guys. So for me, this is where I would say I would be comfortable going to the coin. But that's, you know,
I haven't won at all.
See that's where, you know, that's where the coin might hurt us because now we got to make some tough decisions. Like this is a possible national champion and we're going to the coin. They might be eliminated, but that's what this is all about, you know? So
there's also
how about this? I say
lose first round to Creighton to Louisville because I could see that happening as well.
I could too. All right. So I say coin. Eduardo says Auburn, 100%. Mac, you be the tiebreaker wherever you want. Put them in there.
So I'm going Auburn. However, if you want to go to the coin, we got to respect the coin.
No, I think here is a situation where I think the disparity is big enough, and I don't want to be the one outlier. You know, I think if we're going to eliminate a championship contender, right? There's no set rules to this, but if we're going to eliminate a championship contender, I think it has to be more of a consensus. You know, for coin. So I'm okay with changing and letting Auburn, you know, go on here. But for the record, I just wanted to let it be known, Kalkbrenner and Ashworth, you know, in March, watch out.
Auburn's just too athletic, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Creighton's not gonna try to match up with Auburn athletically. You know, they're gonna try to be different, and it might work out, it might not, but we'll see. I mean, like you said, they could lose to fucking Louisville, so this could all be a moot point. So let's just put Auburn over. And
I will say, Leb, for in your defense, once we get to the second weekend, we just put Auburn in the Sweet 16. Once we get to that second weekend, that's when I'm starting to get iffy with some of these matchup scenarios with Auburn because they have proven to be human the last couple weeks.
It's hard. It's absolutely hard. All right.
I think this is where Yale's Cinderella story ends. I think Michigan's legit. They're on a hot streak. They just ran to the Big Ten, and I'm starting to like Dusty May a lot. So I'm going to go with Michigan.
Yeah, I'll take Michigan there.
I'm with you guys.
All right. Ole Miss, Iowa State. Like I said, I'm not super high on Ole Miss. I think Iowa State's going to win the games they're supposed to. And this feels like a game they're supposed to win. Unless the SEC is just like Thanos, which I don't think they entirely are. So I'm going to stay with Iowa State.
Agree. Iowa State.
Also agree.
I can already tell you this one's going to the coin.
This is going to the coin?
Oh, yeah. This is going to the coin.
I'm cool with it. I don't trust Izzo the last couple of years. Like,
I'm not overly high on Michigan State. They're a good team, but they're a good team. I think they're a borderline great team. But Marquette is a team that can beat literally anyone. And I think this will be a great coaching matchup.
Let's go with the coin. We were talking about it earlier how Cam Jones can take over games, so you never know.
Also, before we flip the coin and the fate is decided, there's a quote of Tom Izzo that just rings in the back of my head. At the beginning of the year, he said this is the least talented team he's had in years. So, like, they've made do in the Big Ten, but, like, NCAA tournament's a different animal. And if you don't have a talented team, like, you might be dead in the water. So this could be the first 2 seed we have losing early.
That's crazy. I don't agree.
Yeah.
But
yeah, right? It doesn't look like it. Michigan State, heads. Marquette, tails.
Okay.
Big East supremacy.
Yep. I knew it, dude.
Marquette is moving on.
I knew it.
All right. So now we got a little juicy Sweet 16 action.
Yep.
Can't have a chalky Sweet 16. Florida, Oklahoma.
Don't see Oklahoma beating Florida at all.
Yeah.
Florida wins by 20.
Yeah, I
think they can blow them out of the water. Colorado State, Grand Canyon.
I really like Colorado State a lot, but this is one where I'd go either way on this one. I know Eduardo's kind of high on GCU.
I assume we're going to the coin, but I'm also
I say the coin.
Okay with red.
You guys
the
know
coin?
All right.
Yeah, coin's fair for them.
Cool. Heads for Colorado State. Tails for Grand Canyon. Heads, Colorado State.
Okay, that's good. I can definitely live with that.
Drake and Texas Tech. Listen, I forget which one of you guys said you wanted Drake in the Sweet 16.
Me.
I think that's you.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with it. Just Texas Tech is one of those boring teams, dude. Like I don't know. It's one of those teams you just can't. You don't feel comfortable trusting going far.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Didn't they play last year in the tournament? Who did Drake play last year?
They might have.
This matchup seems familiar. Or I'm just an idiot, but I don't know.
It kind of does seem familiar. I don't think that they played last year. They might have played a couple years ago, though.
I'm pulling up the bracket right now. And Drake played Washington State in the first round. And then they played Iowa State in the second round. So maybe that's where you're thinking maroon Big 12 team.
Probably Iowa State.
But I'm also cool with moving Drake on if, Eduardo, you are.
I like Tex, so.
All right.
Go to the coin.
Coin. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, 3 versus 11. If one person wants the 3, we got to go coin, 100%.
For sure. Heads for Texas Tech. Tails for Drake. Texas Tech moves on.
Okay.
Now, hear me out. There's a chance it happens. Kansas, St. John's, there's a chance. An off shooting night. I'm not gonna say let's go to the coin if you guys both pick St. John's. I just want it out in the atmosphere that it could happen.
I agree. It's tough. I'll go St. John's, but
I'm also going St. John's, but I think both teams are very similar. But I'm looking at it as St. John's home game in Providence. Rick Pitino, Foxy Lady pregame. I mean, he's not going to lose.
I know, but also, hear me out. St. John's 2 best players were recruited by Bill Self. I mean, I'm not saying that, like, this guy, like, has him in their back pocket, but, like, he's got to know, like, how to defend RJ Lewis and Zuby Ejiofor. I mean, I don't know. That's just me.
If we're picking individual brackets and someone's feeling ballsy, I am not even going to come close to crucifying you for picking Kansas over St. John's, but we're going for a perfect bracket. We are how many? We're 39 in. So as of right now, we're 39 for 39. We're going for the perfect bracket. I'm cool with riding St. John's.
All right, Johnny's.
So we're 40 for 40 right now. Still haven't gotten a game wrong. Duke, I think, is going to run Mississippi State out of the gym.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I think we could all agree, Duke, there.
I agree.
Liberty Akron, I like the Zips.
All right. I like the coin.
I also like the coin.
Cool. Heads for Liberty, tails for Akron. Liberty moves on. BYU, Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin. I just think they'll shoot the lights out.
I think they're the best 3 seed. I like Wisconsin a lot.
See, I like BYU. I think they're really hot right now. They're playing well.
Yeah.
You want to go to the coin again?
Go to the coin.
Heads for Wisconsin. Tails for BYU. Wisconsin.
Dope.
I mean, how are we going to fade the national champions in an SEC game?
I'll go Bama. I'll go Bama.
Let's not fade Vandy.
Wait, what?
Let's not fade Vandy. No, let's go. Bama's going to win.
All right. Love it.
Yeah. Vanderbilt isn't
We're getting closer to that inevitable Duke Bama Elite Eight game that I'm going to talk myself into. Houston Gonzaga. I'm standing firm on Gonzaga over Houston.
All right, then we got to coin it.
Got to coin it.
Coin it. I think Houston kills them.
Yeah, Houston's good. Houston's good.
Gonzaga just feels like such an anomaly to me because, obviously Mark Few doesn't have like a national championship or like anything like that under his belt, but he's in the Sweet 16 every year, and as much as I hate the analytics, they say Gonzaga's like criminally underseeded. I just think they're a sleeping giant, and if we're gonna have a 1 seed get knocked out early, to me it feels like it's gonna be Houston.
Yeah, I don't hate your logic at all. I think this is a really tough matchup for Houston. Not saying like matchup wise, like player to player. I'm saying like this is just going to be a tough game for them. But I think Houston is very good. So yeah, I'd say coin for this one. I think this is.
I'm also looking at it like the Florida Creighton. Like Gonzaga could easily lose the first round to Georgia. So I'd rather have Houston moving on.
Just because, like I said, Gonzaga is such an anomaly. Like I will say, definitely want to go to the coin on this because their analytics are insane. It's just like I think what's holding them back is the non-conference earlier in the year. I'm also pretty high on Nemhard and EK. I don't know. I just think if it's going to happen, if a 1 seed's going to get bounced early, it's going to be Houston to Gonzaga, and technically we're perfect still.
Coin.
I'm good with the coin too.
Heads for Gonzaga. Or no, sorry. Heads for Houston. Tails for Gonzaga. Zags. This is March.
That's why we flip. That's why we play. So
you just ruined our perfect bracket.
Imagine we can honestly, we can come back to this and you guys can rip me to shreds verbally. if this is what ruins our perfect bracket.
I like trusting the process. This is what got us here, and we're perfect so far. So we're
Gotta respect the coin.
All right, this one. I mean, McNeese, Purdue. I don't know. Like,
I like
do we
Purdue.
think
I like
McNeese-
Purdue here.
Yeah. Do we think McNeese could really be a Sweet 16 team? Personally, I don't know. I mean, we already have a 12 in there. Fuck.
I'm cool with Purdue.
I just don't love Purdue, but all right, give me Purdue.
I'm fine with Purdue, but it's going to be a very close game.
Yeah, probably.
The play-in winner of Texas Xavier versus Kentucky. I like Kentucky here. It might be boring, but
Yep. No, I agree. Well said.
I agree.
Boring pick, but I think it's got to be Kentucky.
We'll be rooting for the X.
Yep.
7th-year senior Zach Fremantle.
Yep. Get a job.
UCLA, Tennessee. I'm cool with riding Rick Barnes. No Diddy. But I think, I just think Tennessee's a talented team, and UCLA and Tennessee play a similar style. Tennessee's just better.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Agreed.
All right, so we have our Sweet 16. Sweet 16 is set, and we have Auburn, Michigan, and Lev, like I said, this is where I start to question Auburn. I think they win this still, but this is where I start to get iffy in the bracket.
Yeah. I'm fine with picking Auburn here, but I'm also fine with coining this one. I think this would be a good one seed to, coin. I mean,
I like Auburn, but this is a unique matchup as well. Similar Creighton.
I think this would be an awesome game. I'm also down to coin it because, like I said, I'm weary.
I like
Eduardo, how
UC
do you feel
San
about the
Diego.
coin?
So I can't
Fair.
say anything about this matchup.
I like Auburn, but if you two want to coin, I'm in. Still it.
Lev, you're the deciding factor.
My official vote is Auburn, just so you know.
Okay,
but
cool.
The coin is also never wrong too, so you got to put that in perspective.
That's what I'm saying. If Mac, if you want the coin, like this is what my point is, I'm okay with the coin here because this is close. I think both teams are good.
For the Sweet 16, if someone wants to coin, just instantly flip it.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I'm cool with Auburn as well. Auburn would be like gun to my head. I'm picking Auburn.
All right, then fine. Then Auburn.
Marquette, Iowa State. How do we feel about this?
I think we're flipping.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Well, unless you guys want Marquette.
I'd rather have Marquette in, but
I think Iowa State's the better team, so I'm cool with flipping. But I also agree Cam Jones is a dog. Shaka Smart in the tournament. So heads for Iowa State, tails for Marquette.
Okay. I knew it. I could tell
Marquette is moving on to the Elite Eight. Dude, is Marquette going to make a run?
Watch out for those Golden Eagles.
Florida, Colorado State. The Mountain West thing was cute. I think Florida's legit.
Florida.
Texas Tech and St. John's.
This one's I think is gonna be easier for them than Kansas.
I agree.
But I don't know though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with St. John's. I don't even know if Texas Tech makes it this far. But
yeah, I'll go.
So I'll roll with the Johnnies.
Yeah.
All right, Duke Liberty.
Duke.
Eduardo.
Duke.
Perfect.
Although in my bracket, I have them losing the Oregon in the Sweet 16. Just to point that out right now.
That's fair. I honestly don't even hate that.
But they'll beat Liberty easily.
Okay. Wisconsin Badgers versus your 2025 national champions, Alabama Crimson Tide.
This is where we flip.
All right.
Coin.
Coin. Listen, Paul don't lie here. Paul don't lie.
Watch
Listen,
him. Somebody
Grant-
watch him.
Grant Nelson is the coldest white boy in the country.
All right.
Mark
Hey, man,
Sears
I like
You're
Bama.
saying
is
that
this
like
year's
Ryan,
Dylan Brunson.
saying that like Ryan Mila isn't a thing anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair. Good point. Good point. All right. He's the coldest white boy south of the Mason-Dixon. We're going to go heads for Alabama, tails for Wisconsin.
Tails has been hot. Tails has been hot.
Don't let me down here. And it's fucking tails.
Let's go, dude.
All right.
Badger
Wisconsin
up.
moving on. Got to respect the coin. Gonzaga, Purdue. I feel like you're disgusted by this matchup, Leb.
No, you know what? At this point, like I hate Purdue. I actually really like the Zags. So, well, I mean, not really like them, but I like them enough. I'm fine with picking Gonzaga here.
Okay.
I don't like the Zags that much. I say we do the coin.
All right,
I'm cool with I'm definitely cool with the coin. Heads for Purdue, tails for Gonzaga. That was a terrible flip. Redo.
All right, flip it.
Heads for Purdue, tails for Gonzaga. You guys are fucking up today.
That's
There
all
are
right,
too
man.
many flips.
It's you get the
Heads,
shakes
Purdue.
on Newport Parade.
Tails, Gonzaga. Act like we've been here before, Mac. Tails for Gonzaga.
Tails again, dude. Tails is on a fucking roll, man. This is insane.
Mark Few, I'm telling you, I don't think having this specific 8 seed going to the Elite Eight is that crazy. Like, I really trust Mark Few, and I think they have the pieces to like go on a little bit of a run. Kentucky, Tennessee. What do we think?
Ooh, I think that's got to be a coin flip.
I think so.
I like Tennessee, but I'm down for a coin flip.
I've been picking Kentucky more in this matchup, but I think the coin is necessary.
Yeah.
Heads for Tennessee, tails for Kentucky. Yeah, this is the tails is
Oh my god,
on a hot
dude,
streak.
that might be like 6 in a row for Tails.
We're gonna have to go back and check how many in a row that was because that's actually nuts. And you know what's funny is what I've been doing is the worst seeded team I've always been assigning to tails.
Right.
The better seeded team has always been heads. So we're naturally picking more upsets like this.
Which is good. I think that's good. That's
Yeah, like we said before, you can't go chalk.
Right.
All right, Leb, do the Golden Eagles magic continue?
I think if they get this far, I think it's worth a coin flip for the Golden Eagles, Cam Jones, Shaka Smart. Like I said, I really do think that Marquette could make a run. This is legitimate. This is not just coin luck. I have Marquette going far in, a lot of my brackets. That's, hey, that's just me. So I like a coin flip here, unless you guys all like Marquette, but I'm going Marquette.
Honestly, I'm down the coin flip the rest of the picks, but I like Auburn.
All right.
I think because of Marquette's run right now, we got to respect the coin. I'm going to do it again. The better seeded team, Auburn is heads. Marquette is tails. Do Marquette and tails Cinderella run continue? The Golden Eagles are going to the Final Four.
Tails is just crushing.
Wow.
This is how perfect brackets get made. We're going to look back and be like, dude, Tails rattled off 7 in a row, and that's what gave us our perfect bracket. Like that's
when they do a psychological case study on this, they're just going to see 3 dumbasses flipping a coin for an hour and a half.
Yep. It's going to be unbelievable. This is like part of history right now. So
I will say, I think Florida wins this matchup.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is where it ends for St. John's.
I agree. Give me Florida.
All right, so then we don't need to flip this one. We can all put Florida in there. Good run by the Johnnies, though. Good run.
Duke, Wisconsin. I think this would be an awesome matchup, a little rematch of the 2015 national championship.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think Duke is too good.
Yeah. I'm okay with Duke with this one.
I'm good with Duke.
Cool. And then to solidify the Final Four, we got the Zags versus Kentucky. I think this might be coin material.
Yeah, this has coin written all over it.
Let's do it.
All right.
It's gonna be tails.
Kentucky is heads. Gonzaga is tails. Does the Cinderella run continue for tails?
All right, finally. I'm actually relieved that we have proven that the coin is not defective at this point because of a head. You know, so I'm relieved that at least we got one head. So now we're in the Final Four. You know, this is great.
All right, Marquette, Florida.
This is where it ends for me.
I agree. I think Florida is for real.
Florida.
And then a battle of the Blue Bloods. There's a lot of good potential matchups in this bracket. I think Duke's legit, though.
Yep.
I say coin.
All right, coin.
All right, cool.
We got a last-minute coin to save the perfect bracket.
The Final Four coin. Duke is heads. Kentucky's tails. Spot in the national championship on the line.
Tails again.
Kentucky at the buzzer.
In his first year at Kentucky, brings them all the way to a national championship game against Florida. That's pretty special.
And we got an all-SEC matchup where I just think Florida is for real, especially in this particular matchup.
I wouldn't hate picking Florida here, but I feel like we kind of owe it to the coin. They got us this far, you know. Obviously, the coin does not have a gender, so them got us this far. So I say flip the coin and decide a national champion.
Flip it, but let's run it 3 times for the national.
All right, yeah, I like that. There you go.
Best of 3.
Yeah, best. Yeah.
Florida's heads. Kentucky's tails. Best 2 out of 3. I don't know if that caught on camera, but it was heads.
All right, count it. Heads.
If it's heads, Florida wins. If it's tails, Kentucky forces a game 3.
Oh, wow.
And it's tails.
The Fighting Mark Popes, dude.
Kentucky and Florida. 1 coin flip for a perfect bracket. This perfect bracket will send the 3 of us to Mars. And hopefully Warren Buffett offers us $1 billion. We can work out the numbers and how we're going to divide it up later. We'll worry about that in April.
Yeah. Well said.
Florida, Kentucky for the national championship. Kentucky.
Hey, dude, I love it, man. I love it. A 3 seed winning a national championship makes you pretty much like, if they win, then you win your bracket pool. You know, that's been my strategy in years past. You basically just ride one team to the top. Everyone's picking Florida. Everyone's picking Duke, right? To win your bracket pool and having Florida and Duke as your champion, you got to get really lucky in the earlier stages. So I don't hate this at all. You know, I don't hate this.
Yeah, you got to find some spot in your bracket to set yourself apart.
Correct.
You want to win your pool. So, I mean, Duke and Florida are, I think, the 2 most picked national champions. So you get them going as far as the Final Four, but you got to set yourself apart. So I'm cool with Kentucky as the first ever Divine Providence national champs.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I say for total points, going to be a little bit of a high scoring affair. I say 169.
I was literally about to say the exact same.
All right. So thanks everyone for listening, watching the YouTube video. The YouTube version is probably a little better, a little visual aid. But you just witnessed the first perfect bracket. So
Yeah. No, we're excited.
talk to you on Mars.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you on Mars with the Martians, I guess. I don't fucking know.
But yeah, so first perfect bracket ever. To anyone listening, if you want to join our bracket group, we're going to share it on Twitter at divine_provpod. Yeah, join it. I think it's a cool feature that's added to the app. I don't think anyone's ever done that outside of like legitimate sports apps.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to be able to keep track of it on Twitter. And like people when you sign up, you'll have your Twitter username there. So it's like, if you have a Twitter brand, and you're trying to expand your Twitter brand, show people that you know ball, that's what your bracket's going to show up as. It's not going to show up as, Joe Cocksucker. Excuse my language. But that's what that is. What it is. Expand your brand. Hashtag brand. So, also we will be boots on the ground at the dunk. For little pregame man on the street content. So come find us. That's Thursday. We're gonna do, right? I think.
Yep.
Okay. So Thursday. So come find us. You can get interviewed if you'd like. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'd say go Friars, but we got to wait till November. So this weekend, I'm a McNeese State fan. The Fighting Allen Breeds.
Hell yeah, that's a great team to be like. If I were going to put, well, I mean, it's got to be Bryant for me, I guess. Whatever, but yeah, McNeese is cool, man. I like McNeese.
Where were you when Nate Oates won the 2025 national championship?
Well,
that's my only prediction.
Not gonna happen because he already won. So
fair, yeah, we might be on Mars.
Anything else you guys got?
I will say next pod we'll probably have some Friar news. So
yeah,
we talk about that.
Almost definitely will. Excited about that. So hopefully that goes well, and just hoping for the best at this point.
Everyone enjoy this weekend. It is the best weekend in the sports calendar. Mm-hmm. Glue your eyes to the TV if you have to, because someone's going to become a whole household name, and there's going to be where were you when this happened moments. It's the best, most magical weekend in sports. So enjoy it. It
is. Support Providence economy. Support your local Foxy Lady employee. Have fun. Be safe. And yeah, go McNeese. And go Bryant. Shout out Bryant.
Roll Tide.
Nah. All right. Peace.